Today. Alright. My question to y'all is why you buy a Ford, and my answer is why shouldn't you buy a Ford, okay? Alright. Let's see, for 37 years, going on 38 years straight, because you know they're going to hit 38 years straight on a number one selling truck, or F Series truck, I should say. Um, you know, there's some pros and cons with every vehicle. It don't matter if it's a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge. Uh, everything's man-made. So that being said, yeah, Fords tear up, Chevrolets tear up, and Dodges tear up, Toyotas tear up, Nissans tear up. Everything's man-made. My phone that I'm doing with now is man-made. The Xbox 360 that's playing Alan Jackson right now is man-made. And will it tear up one day? Yes, it will. Hopefully it won't, but if it does, it does. Alright? Well, let me tell you. Ford Motor Company has been setting standards, hands down been setting standards for years that nobody else can compete with, Dodge or Chevrolet. They introduced a new power plants in 2011, which the 5.4 Triton, in my personal opinion, is one hell of a motor. There's no doubt about it. It's strong to 4.6 liter, smaller V8. I mean, when they come out in 97, the 5.4 and the 4.6, and they strong motors. There's pros and cons about both of them, but they good motors. The 4.6 may be a little better on gas, still pulls strong. The 5.4 is one hell of a pulling motor. There's no doubt about it. But now the real game changer was in 2011 for us. Now, Ford Motor Company is always 8 to 10 years ahead of everybody else when it comes to the production line of their vehicles. It's hard to believe, but it's true. The game changer in 2011 was the new power plants. You got the 5.0 Coyote, which has got 360 horsepower, 380 foot-pounds of torque. The EcoBoost, which is 3.5 liter V6 twin turbocharged, variable cam timing, is a real game changer too. You got great fuel economy, 365 horsepower, and 420 foot-pounds of torque. Alright, the 6.2 liter, that's the biggest V8 that we offer besides the Power Stroke. I'm talking about gas motors now. It's got 411 horsepower, 434 foot-pounds of torque, and 9 times out of 10, well, it ain't 9 times out of 10, it is. Every Ford Raptor you buy has got a 6.2 liter in it regardless. That's a beast of a motor, needless to say. It's may not be the best on gas, but hey, you really don't buy a truck like that for gas, the fuel economy, because if that's the case, you'd be going out buying a Ford C-Max or Ford Focus. Or if you like to drive them rice burners, which I shouldn't have said that, but if you like to drive them, if you don't like to drive American made, you go get you a Prius. That's all I got to say about that. And then the Power Stroke. You can't beat the Power Stroke. 6.7 liter, 800 foot-pounds of torque, 400 horsepower. No, there ain't a diesel on the market today. Stock for stock now. I'm not talking about, you go soup one up, the Cummins or Duramax and stuff like that. I'm talking about stock for stock on paper, straight from the dealership, stock bone. Power Stroke's always been number one. Oh yeah, the 6.0 and the 6.4 had its problems. Thanks to International. Thank God International has not got anything to do with the Power Strokes anymore. The new 6.7 is an in-house motor through Ford Motor Company. Thank the Lord, they should have been doing this ever since they started the diesel lineup in their trucks, period. Come to find out, the 7.3, like a rock. The new 6.7 is like the 7.3 in my opinion. Anyway, Ford, had their disputes with International. They sued them and all that business there. Thank God, Ford Motor Company got to keep the Power Stroke because they was going to call it the what was it called? The new Power Stroke was going to be named what was it? The Prowler, something like that. The Prowler, which it would have been a pretty nice name, but there ain't nothing better than a Power Stroke. And like I said, all diesels have their pros and cons, which, the 6.0 had its problems, but it wasn't Ford's fault. I mean, they didn't produce the motor, but now they could have done something about it and went with a different manufacturer, no doubt about it, okay? I'm not just taking Ford's side, even though I was born to drive a Ford. I'm not taking their side just because of that. The 6.4 had its hiccups, and the 6.0 had its hiccups, but once you've done what you needed to do to it to get rid of them hiccups, and you hands down, you can say that 6.0 is one hell of a motor. My lead mechanic at the Ford store I work at, that's all he talks about. He says, you bulletproof a 6.0, it's hard to tear it up. That new 6.7 is a game changer. I mean, where can you buy a full size or a single cab diesel that can get up to 30 miles to the gallon without a programmer on it? Not many. Because you sure ain't going to go out and buy a new Duramax. Not knocking the Duramax, because that's one hell of a truck too. Not knocking the Cummins. It's one hell of a truck too. But them two ain't going to get the fuel economy that 6.7 liter Power Stroke can get. I don't care how you drive it. Now, yeah, you can program it and stuff like that, but I'm talking about stock from stock, guys. That's how I rate everything, stock from stock. Because you could take a Duramax and put a little chip on it and it do this, do that. You can do a Cummins and a Power Stroke the same way. But I'm talking about bone stock. Proof's in the pudding. You don't believe me? Go Google the facts. And then, hell, let's see, Ford just released a new 2015 Power Stroke. They have not released the stats on, because they redesigned the 6.7, got more power, of course. And I'm guessing, this is what I'm thinking, if we already have 410 horsepower on the previous 800 foot-pounds of torque, I'm pushing for 1,100 foot-pounds of torque or more. And I'm pushing, I want to say they're going to bump the horsepower up to about 420 to 430. Maybe, maybe not. It'll be nice. Because the current 6.4 liter Dodge Cummins has a 6.4 liter in it. And it's got 850 foot-pounds of torque, which is a little more than Ford's now, but I'm going to tell you, still ain't going to pull it. Two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. It don't matter if it had a 10-wheel drive, it ain't going to do it. So hopefully Ford bump up the horsepower on that to, well, like I said, about 420. And I'm looking for 1,100 foot-pounds of torque, because that would be a game changer. Unfortunately, the DEF system on all the new diesels that won't allow it to blow the black smoke, which is a bad thing anyway, because that means you're burning, you're not using all your fuel. It's not burning if it's blowing black anyway, so that's a bad thing. I wish the government wouldn't have allowed that, because black smoke, I ain't gonna lie, it looks cool. But that's that government regulated stuff. But I mean, you can't beat a Ford. You cannot beat a Ford. The way they're built, as strong as they are, as long as they last, the power plants we have, the fuel economy that they can achieve, all the torque that EcoBoost gives out, and them twin turbochargers don't only help down here in Georgia, but they're gonna help you way up there in the Carolina mountains, the rock, wherever you drive up in high elevations. While your naturally aspirated Chevrolets and Dodges and all that are starving for air because you're higher up in elevation, that EcoBoost is gonna shoo right on by them. Because if you don't believe me, go watch the Fast Truck Lane, or what is it? Fast Truck Lane. It's our YouTube channel, guys, that done what they call the King of the Mountain. They did I think it was a 2-mile drive. They took the baddest Dodge, the baddest Chevrolet, of course, and the baddest EcoBoost Ford, which in a way kind of wasn't fair, because they used the F-150 Limited, which has the 22-inch rims, which is alright because it still beat them both in fuel economy. And I mean, it beat them by I think 1 minute and 20 seconds. That's saying a lot. And they was towing 5,500 pounds or more. It was called the I-Gauntlet. 2-mile track up some mountain somewhere, and they tested the braking power and the pulling power and all. And not saying it because I'm a Ford fan, it's because it's a fact. I mean, you don't believe me, go watch the video. The Ford come out on top. The V6 beat all the V8s, okay? You know, what can I say? The EcoBoost in a way is the way to go. But I'm stuck in between. If I buy me a new Ford with the current power plant, I would like the 2015, and I'll get on that subject here on another video. But let's see, if I was to pick a Ford truck now, between what motors I want, you got the 5.0, which is one hell of a motor, the V6 EcoBoost, one hell of a motor, and the 6.2 liter, which is one hell of a motor. I would have to literally put an EcoBoost on a piece of paper, the 5.0 and a 6.2 liter, and put them in a hat and stir them up and pick, because there's pros and I don't know how to explain it, but the motors are so good. There's 3 good power plants right there, and it's hard for me to choose because they all can do the same thing just about, and they all have power. None of them are unpowered when it comes to their torque and all that. I mean, they are go-getters. I can tell you that much. Them motors are go-getters, and not any other manufacturers out there's got them go-getter motors like that I know of. And I'm telling you, I'm pretty up top on my game when it comes to new trucks. A Ford, Chevy, Dodge. I stay on top of all of them and see what's going on. So You know, when I'm out there selling vehicles, I can say, hey, this truck's got so-and-so. But Ford's done its homework, and I tell you what, they stepped it up big time. Like I said in the beginning of the video, Ford is setting standards that nobody can compete with, and that's factual. About the new F-150, I'm just going to say a little bit about it. The new 2015, yeah, shed 700 pounds with its military-grade aluminum body and new hydroformed. I don't know exactly what kind of steel they made it out of, but it's stronger than the current one, and it's stronger than most heavy-duty trucks and on the market, which would only leave an American league would be a Chevy and a Dodge. It's stronger than their frames, you know, and their heavy duties, and that's saying a lot. Better fuel economy with the lighter weight. 4 new power plants. Yeah, Ford did. I can't really say right now, but I believe Ford got rid of the 6.2 liter. But I hope they put it on the back burner so when they release it, they're going to come back out with it, because that 6.2 liter, besides the one that's in the Power Stroke, well, not Power Stroke, but it's in the F250 gas. I don't know what their mindset is with that. I'll have to look further into it. I've been staying on top of it ever since the F-150 come out, the 2015 that is. So y'all just stay tuned. There's gonna be more videos. I gotta keep these kind of short. I'm going on 12 minutes now. I don't want to take it forever to upload. I thank you guys for tuning in to my channel. And again, Cody Strickland signing off. And why you should buy Ford, and why do you buy Ford? Leave clean comments. I know there's pros and cons about every vehicle. I said that from the beginning of the vehicle. Fords have pros and cons. Chevy, Dodge, everybody. Don't matter what manufacturer you are, because everything's man-made. Hell, if you think about it, I'm man-made. You man-made. So, hey, you know, that's the way it is. But I'm going to sign off now because I'm hitting the 12-minute mark. Thanks for tuning in. Like, favorite, subscribe, and leave clean comments about what you drive. And if you drive a Ford, why do you drive Ford? Because I would love to know. And I'm going to start answering all these comments that, say, for instance, somebody goes on here and they put, well, the only reason why I drive Ford is because they never failed me. They do what I needed to do when I needed to do it. They save me time, money, and you just can't beat a Ford, okay? They're like I can't say they're like a rock, because they would, I mean, that's Chevrolet saying. They just, like Ford says, they built Ford tough. They need to be built Ford friggin' tough is what they are. But I'm going to start doing videos on people's comments. But just tell me why you drive Ford, and why do you need to drive a Ford. Or if you're satisfied with your current vehicle, whether it's a Dodge, Chevy, Toyota. If you want to make a change, I'm here to talk to you and tell you why you need to buy Ford. Why you need to buy the #1 selling vehicle. And Ford ain't the #1 selling F-Series truck for no reason, going on 38 years straight. There's a reason behind them 37 years, alright? So don't let anybody say, oh, you don't need to buy no Ford because of this, this, and this. Nah. Because if that's the case, Bubba, you look at the end-year stats when you Google the #1 selling truck and see Ford's almost selling. Well, there ain't no almost to it. They are. In some years, they almost sold 300,000 more units than a Chevrolet or a Dodge. We're #1 for a reason, guys. You need to wake up and smell the cat box, because you're driving. If you're not driving a Ford, you're really driving the wrong vehicle, because we're built Ford tough, baby.